What's going on, everybody? John Eric Poli on location here in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where we're talking some Maverick MMA 23. The fights are going down at the Wind Creek Casino on June 10th. Joined by Hunter May. Hunter's going to be fighting for the vacant welterweight amateur title. Hunter, first off, happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it.
No problem at all, man. So a lot going on besides for the birthday, of course, because this fight, when we spoke the last time, you were telling me you weren't really sure if you were going to accept it right away. You wanted to speak to your coaches. Those conversations have now happened. You're having this fight. Talk about those conversations and why you guys decided now's the time for this.
The only thing that would have stopped me from taking the fight is the timeline with other fighters. I have a couple teammates. One's fighting this weekend. Someone was supposed to fight the week after this fight. So it was just working the timelines with my teammates. But my coaches, I told them I wanted the fight. I like the matchup. I think it's a good opponent. And so we decided to accept it. And now we're just a couple weeks away.
And title fight, awesome opportunity for you, awesome opportunity for the gym. What's the excitement level like for this one, not only for the gym, but obviously for yourself personally, biggest fight of your career so far?
Yeah, since I started training, I told them that, like, no matter what, I wanted to bring a belt home for the gym. Just the ability to compete for a belt means that, like, the work I put in over the last 3 years is coming to fruition. But I'm trying not to let that be, like, too stuck in my head. Like, it's just another fight. There's a couple different rules. It's the same thing. There's an opponent in front of me, and if I beat my opponent, then I get everything that I want from this, and that's just another win in the win column. And then obviously just keep pushing forward, pushing the pace, and bring a nice belt home.
And I'm glad that you brought up the whole thing about the rule changes here, because I don't think a lot of people realize, like, through the amateur ranks, there are different rules and different things that go on. So first, explain a little bit about what kind of took place the early amateur career, and then let's get into now the rules that will be in place for this fight.
Yeah, Pennsylvania, every state has different rules, but Pennsylvania, they do for your first three fights, it's 2-minute rounds, shin guards, no ground and pound to the head. So it definitely gives people a good feel about, like, the grappling doesn't punish you as much. And if you're not as prepared as you should be getting in there, it gives you an idea where you should be. And then if you're 3-0 or 2-1, I believe you can qualify for advanced amateurs, which is where I'm at now. And
advanced amateurs, tell us some of the things that go into that. Mostly just no shin guards is pretty much the big one.
Ground and pound to the head is now allowed. 3-minute rounds instead of 2-minute rounds, so it's different cardio pacing and stuff like that. So definitely a couple of different things you have to address going into camp. Obviously, no shin guard, so you have to make sure that your shins are up to condition so that you're not hindering your movement off checks, or, like, if people are better kickers than usual, then obviously it's a bigger weapon for them. The ground and pound to the head, obviously, if you get taken down, you can't just, like, stall too much or they're going to finish you. So definitely good changes. I think it's about time to have these changes. So.
All right, well, now let's talk about the preparation for it. Obviously, camp going on right now. Just how's it been going? Obviously, you're adjusting to the new rule systems. How's all that been going?
It's been good. Like, the big thing was, I fought March 25th, so I wanted my coaches to let me know as soon as possible so I can start preparing. But I thought that there was a good chance they were going to allow me to take this fight, so I started preparing only a couple days after my last fight. So definitely changed the structure of my cardio, my strength and conditioning, and then a little bit of added, like, shin conditioning here and there. But mainly it's just the same thing, just structure a good game plan, stick to the game plan, and don't be scared when I get in there.
All right, let's talk about your opponent now. What have you seen out of him? Obviously, you've been scouting him for a little while now. Just what are you expecting on fight night?
It's good leading from last camp, because I was fighting a southpaw. I thought my opponent last camp was going to grapple a lot more, so most of my camps have been defensive grappling based and then, like, counter wrestling. But I think that this guy's going to be more of a kickboxer. Good power. He's built very well. He's only about 5'10", but he has a lot of muscle and good spots for him. And he has a lot of power in his legs, a lot of power in his hands. I definitely have a lot of strategies on how to address that properly, and I just have to keep working and then stick to it on the day. When I get to the point, I just need to address everything the right way. So.
Now, for this fight, I mentioned in the beginning, it's at the Wind Creek Casino, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Your last fight, same location. How much does that kind of help with things? Just so you're familiar, you're not going into a venue you've never been at before, not wondering where am I supposed to warm up at. You kind of are familiar with the way things are going to be on fight night.
It's actually perfect. Like, that's the big thing. Like, obviously I only fought at Split Rock before, and so like the venue change, it was going to be bigger. There was going to be a lot of different things. It was a little bit tougher for visualization, but now I have an idea of what the time that I'm going to be fighting, that it's going to be later in the card. I have an idea of the warm-up area. I have an idea of where we weigh in at, how to structure my time of getting there, how to warm up the right way. So it definitely helps a lot for visualization, and I'm excited to go back. There was a beautiful venue, so put on another show.
Yeah. I was going to say, I saw the photos from the event on Facebook, and it looked like an absolutely beautiful venue for it. Speaking of things that are beautiful, the Maverick belt is a pretty beautiful thing. It looked nice around your waist there. What would it mean to bring that belt home?
It'd just be like, it'd be important to me for the work that I've put in over the last 3.5 years, for it to show in some hardware. It's not everything to me. I know no matter how the fight goes, the work that I've put in and the work that these fighters put in before the fights, we're all winners for stepping in that cage. But I told my coaches that I wanted to have the opportunity to bring a belt home for them. I want to inspire my teammates, because my teammates want to go and win belts one day, and they're getting ready to start fighting. So it's just to be inspirational to others around me.
And speaking of teammates, your teammate Gabby is sharing this card with you. Just how she looked throughout camp, and how excited are you for her and her opportunity?
She looks very good. I think that she is like one of the best people for understanding what she needs to work on. Like, she doesn't have too many holes in her game, but she knows that there are certain things that she can do to just be a better fighter. So she's just inspirational to me. Like, every time I see her and like the work that she puts in outside of camp, it makes me get up earlier, run more, get here early, game plan, talk, learn, strategize with each other. We're always in the lab with each other, and she's the head of that. So it's just an inspiration to me.
And while we're talking about teammates, talking about the gym, it was funny when we opened up the interview, I started stumbling a little bit, and that's because this is actually a brand new gym. There's a name change. So go ahead and explain all that to everybody out there in northeastern Pennsylvania. I'm sure if they want to get involved, fantastic spot. There's a location in Wilkes-Barre. Obviously, this is a new location in Lackawanna County. So take us through those changes a little bit.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of a big change for us. Like, none of us are representing Scranton MMA anymore. We're a part of our team with Frank Erlonia and Steve Wilson, still Jess Alonia. And we're at Good Tree MMA now in Dunmore. It's still a work in progress, but the gym, the facility is beautiful. It has the best coaching around, still high-level instructors, high-level training partners. So it's been a big change throughout this camp, having to like change locations, but it's a move that we're doing the right way, and it's for a good reason. So.
And while we're here, I know there are some construction still going on around us. We're in a room that's pretty much complete at the moment, but what are just some of the things around this gym that you're going to be working on? I know obviously bigger locations, so you're going to have, there's going to be a striking room, a grappling room, and you guys are really putting it together here. It's a lot going on for the area here.
Yeah, I mean, construction started last week, and now our grappling room is getting there. Our striking room is getting taken care of. We're going to expand past this room behind us, and then we're going to have a cage, full-size cage, a lot more striking bags to work, warm-up areas before we get into our striking room, big judo and jiu-jitsu room over there. For obviously our gym is mainly a jiu-jitsu based gym, so the larger area over there for those classes, and just like a lot more open space, and it's going to be a lot more effective. There isn't any wasted space in this area now.
All right, Hunter, it's been a pleasure as always. Last thing before we roll out, I'm going to remind everybody, June 10th, Wind Creek Casino, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. That's when the fights are. And just last thing for you, you want to go ahead, plug your social media. People know where to follow you at. You have anything else that you got to plug? Floor is yours, man. Take it away.
Appreciate it. I mean, my Instagram is Mokatron MMA. You can follow there for fight updates and highlights from fights from now, fights for the future. It's definitely a big fight for me. I'm excited. I've been working really hard for this. So anybody that wants to come, anyone wants to stream it, anyone that just texts me and shoots me support, I appreciate all of you. And I really do hope that I can go and give you guys the performance that you guys deserve, a great performance from me.